Today's e-commerce market has significantly expanded the customer base available to sellers. Businesses can now reach shoppers around the world almost as easily as those just down the road. And today we'll look at how you can set up WooCommerce for international orders to grow your audience.
So let's start off with what is needed for an international e-commerce store. Well, I'm glad you asked. So starting off with your international shipping. Now, the first thought that comes to mind when selling internationally is how you will deliver your products. You not only need to get your goods to other countries, but you also need to ensure everything arrives in good condition. Major carriers like UPS, FedEx, DHL, and even USPS make it so you can send your goods around the globe without much more effort than a domestic order. However, you need to factor in the cost. International delivery fees can vary wildly depending on the customer's location and your chosen carrier. That said, you don't want to confuse your international customers with the shipping fees. You'll have to weigh whether using flat rate shipping works for your business. And this might mean lower margins, but can lead to better conversions as customers can see the shipping cost prior to moving through their checkout process.
International e-commerce stores need to offer multiple payment methods, and shoppers in different countries each have their preferred method of payment. And for many, this will be the traditional debit card and credit card. Others will prefer more modern payments. So for example, in China, it is common for consumers to use mobile payment apps such as WeChat. And to cater to as many people as possible, you should configure your store to accept a variety of payment methods. And in addition to payment options, stores need to present multiple currencies. So shoppers are accustomed to seeing items priced in their local currency. And if items are listed in another currency, they will have to make the effort to calculate what the value is in their common currency. Actually just did this the other day. It was annoying and I ended up not purchasing the product. But small steps like this can lead to friction in the buying process, and it may lead to visitors choosing to shop somewhere else, like my experience the other day.
Now, you'll also want to have support for VAT and other taxes. Now, certain locations will incur additional taxes. For example, when selling to customers in Europe and other Eastern nations, you need to collect the value-added tax, or VAT. If you currently only sell in the US, this is something new you'll need to plan for. In addition to collecting the tax, some locations have specific laws regarding how you must disclose these taxes on your site. This means that you will need to review your privacy and policy pages to ensure that they have all the required information. And if they don't, you'll need to create a location-specific version to ensure that you adhere to all local regulations.
Now, if you sell products that come in different sizes, you'll need to account for the different measurement system in other locations. So for example, a woman's size 6 shoe in the US is a size 4 in the UK. And you may be familiar with the difference, but that does not mean the same is true for your international customers, right? Don't assume that. Therefore, it is essential to remove any uncertainty regarding your products by making the size as clear as possible. And properly converting your sizes, it'll ensure that customers buy the appropriate items at the right size, and it will save you from avoidable returns and complaints. Now, while shoppers across the world share some interest, not everyone will have the same preference when it comes to how you design your website and user interface. So you want to check your imagery, check the copy to ensure that they are culturally relevant to your various audience. And otherwise, think about it, your website will not resonate with your visitors and they will leave your site without completing a purchase.
And now the fun stuff. Let me show you how you can actually set up WooCommerce for international consumers. So let's go. So first off, we want to configure shipping for global locations. Inside of your WordPress site, go to WooCommerce, Settings, and then General. In the General option selection, find the fields for selling locations and shipping locations. If you want to sell and ship everywhere, they should read sell to all countries and ship to all countries you sell to, respectively. Next, you need to set up shipping zones. So back in the WooCommerce section, go to Settings and then Shipping. Select Add Shipping Zone, enter the zone name, and select the zone regions. These can be countries or entire continents. Now, after you pick the locations, select Add Shipping Methods. You can then add the various carriers eligible to ship deliveries in this zone. Now, Emma talked about earlier how important it was to make sure we had different currencies on the website. So this plugin, Currency Switcher for WooCommerce, does exactly that. So this extension allows shoppers to adjust the currency on your site while shopping. So as you set up WooCommerce for international orders, you can pick a list of available currencies, and shoppers will then be able to use the switching widget to adjust the currency on their cart, checkout, and shop pages. Now let's talk about another plugin that's important for WooCommerce sales, and that is WooCommerce Multilingual. Now this plugin is a powerful solution for translating your store into any language needed. There are multiple components of the extension, and this comes with an installer that downloads and updates each of these required plugins.
Now, if your business only sells to local customers, expanding your reach into new geographic areas can prove an effective way to grow your sales and grow your audience. And start by making a plan for shipping your goods internationally, and then configure your WooCommerce store to appeal to a new group of buyers. All right, that's a wrap, but your journey doesn't have to end here. We have over 300 videos for you to watch.
So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is The Journey. We'll see you in the next video.